Welcome to What's Up Wednesday, everybody. I'd like to talk a little bit about a topic that I refer to as human connectivity. Now, human connectivity is maybe a broad term, but I want to focus on kind of two aspects of it to kind of get us thinking a little bit. And what prompted this was actually there were two things that prompted it. First, we moved offices this last week, and a couple of the folks who work remote came in to help move our office, Abby and Mary. And it was so incredibly nice to see them in person after being remote for so long. Because, most workforces are either hybrid or they're remote now. And you just don't feel that connectivity that you do when you see people in person. And the other piece of this is the fact that we've been talking in the construction networking group within the American Clean Power Association about human connectivity as it relates to mental health. And I think this is a topic that there are two sides to it. One, I think that people really like the freedom of being remote and being, technology connected as opposed to humanly connected. And then on the other side of it, you have kind of the opposition, which is the fact that when you get people in person, you just get such a different outcome than you do when everybody is remote on a camera via Zoom, which is how I'm filming this today. So, something to think about. And I know that there's an argument that to attend a meeting, I live about 25 miles north of Seattle. So if I go to the HEC meeting or another meeting in person, I'm looking at 45 minutes to an hour to drive down, plus my fuel to get there. Probably have to pay for parking. And then you have the actual meeting and then the time back. So an hour long or an hour and a half long meeting is going to take twice as long to attend because you have an hour on the front end and an hour on the back end in commute time. And that's not very efficient. So, you can make that argument that the remote world is much more efficient. And I agree that it is. It's easy, it's simple. But what I am finding is some of our groups are not going back to in-person attendance. And those who are, we're offering the hybrid option, and we may have, 10 or 12 people attend a meeting and have 20 or 30 people remote on camera attending that way. And again, what I found is, especially coming out of COVID, where we didn't have human connectivity, when we actually get to shake a hand, give somebody a hug, spend time with them in person, it's so much better. I mean, it actually soothes the soul in ways I can't really describe. And I think we need to think about this because it's great to have the convenience and the efficiency of a remote world, but nothing can replace that human connectivity. And when we look at mental health, I think it's a very key aspect of mental health in construction or any other industry. So we know that mental health is a epidemic, probably a pandemic, but it's an epidemic in the United States of crazy proportions, and it's escalating very quickly. We see on the news crime, mass shootings, so many things that are negative, but they're all a representation of mental health issues in this country. And I think that focusing on that human connectivity piece, not just, hey, good morning, or how's it going, as a greeting, not as an actual question, it doesn't go very far. And we're not going to really know where somebody is mentally if we don't engage with them. So whether it's our workforce on a manufacturing floor, whether it's an office setting or a construction site, I think that human connectivity is one of the key components to a mental health awareness program and a suicide prevention program that can be the most effective tool that we have. Asking questions, engaging people, interacting with them at more than just a very light social level, but actually getting to know something about their family. Now, some of the greatest leaders I've ever heard of or about in the past, I hear from people that they knew the name of every employee in their organization. And names are not my strong point. I struggle to remember names, but what a great form of human connectivity when a CEO or a president of a company or a department manager not only knows the names of all of their staff, but they know the name of their wife. They know how many kids they have. They know what they do for fun. That's human connectivity, and nothing can replace that. So just, a couple thoughts that I think that people should really digest, because that human connectivity portion is something that we need. It's part of our hierarchy of needs, and abandoning it for a virtual world has drawbacks. And I know as a president and CEO, one of the biggest challenges I face, and I think people in my position face, is this remoteness and how it kind of dilutes culture a little bit. So take that with you, do as you wish with it, and we'll see you next Wednesday.